O'Brien with the leather. He's double teamed immediately. He goes to Jensen, who takes it to the rack. Power move on the part of Keith. He's got 10.
It's just good passing by the big guys. In this case, Patrick O'Brien finding Jensen wide open for that layup.
Cortez over to Anthony. They go back to Emmett. They have Macapagal and Ugnatan completing their 5. Macapagal misses on that 3 ball. Rebound para dito kay Buenafe. He's with Jensen. Cryan, Mamaril, and O'Brien. 71-57. It is GlobalPort by 14. All kinds of time para dito sa Meralco. But GlobalPort wants to put him away right here, right now. Ron J lights it up. At sabi ng PLDT Home Evolution, turns your ordinary TV into an internet TV.
And good passing out of the post. This time in the corner to Ron J Buenafe for 3-point shot.
It's a 17-point lead now para dito sa Batang Pier. Anthony, butata pa inabot kay Bryant.
It just looks like they're trying to force things. That's not the shot I know that Coach Norman wanted, especially going up against a guy with a 7'6" wingspan.
Like that. O'Brien. Sabi ko, Bryant lang. He's injured. Evan gets that finger. That's a hard finger roll, spinning the wrong way, Ali.
That's a pretty good shot. Pretty talented shot.
Meralco looking to begin their fight back here, but they're going to need some stops on this end. O'Brien against Ugnatan. Cortez tutulong pa. His kick out pass bothered by Macapagal. Ugnatan from Cortez on the run. Reynel will walk this one in. Coach Pidon not a happy man after that last sequence, especially after this turnover.
You know, it's 2 turnovers in a row already, and we got to tighten things up. This game is not over yet by any means.
Back-to-back hits has brought Meralco to within 13. Emmett once again pulls up. Huli ni Mamaril.
It's good defense by Billy Mamaril.
Cryan, the hero of the first half para dito sa GlobalPort. He definitely turned things around para sa Batang Pier. After their slow start, he looks to go to O'Brien. Jensen lurking on that baseline. O'Brien's turnaround doesn't drop. Rebound, Hodge. 9.5 remaining in this game. Emmett over at the other side is clobbered by Mamaril. And the officials will investigate that last piece of action.
That was a hard foul by Billy Mamaril.
I'd say good playoff foul, but it's opening night. It's just opening night. There was a play on the ball, but was it excessive after the fact?
Oh, I think so. I mean, was that a flagrant? I think it was a flagrant 1.
If there was no play on the ball, automatic yon. Pero he didn't go for the ball, pero right after he already blocked it, there was some extra motion.
But, you know, that's just a hard foul. You don't want to give up a layup, and you know, so far, Emmett's been getting a lot of his points from the free throw line. Send him to the free throw line. He might miss one. You never know.
He's only missed, what, 3 all night long. The officials concurring with each other. Now we are set for an announcement as Doug Kramer is making his way back to the scorer's table. Looks like they're ready for a flagrant 1. So Billy Moms will have to sit for the next 3 basketball minutes. He doesn't agree with it. Can't do anything about it at this point. Kramer will be checking in para sa kanya. You saw a glimpse of Stanley Pringle. We haven't mentioned it. Pringle continues to miss action para dito sa GlobalPort. He missed, what, the last 2-3 games of the Commissioner's Cup? And if we're not mistaken, he's got a hairline fracture somewhere on his foot.
Yeah, wow.
Or he had one. We're not sure how healthy he is. And we'll probably get a report as we go along. Imagine this performance already from GlobalPort, and Pringle has not even seen a second of action.
I was thinking about that during the early part of the game, and you know, he's such a great addition, and I actually like the 1-2 combination between Terrence Romeo and Stanley Pringle. I hope that they can actually exist together when he gets healthy to come out and play. But I think so far, especially with the addition of these 2 imports, because what these 2 imports have done so far is establish their presence and establish some sort of organization.
They didn't do all the scoring para sa Batang, pero it's been a balanced attack for the guys in white. Something that we can't say for the guys in orange.
And I'm really confused about that. You know, I mean, especially with the type of teams that Coach Norman has, it's just, I got to say, maybe it's a lack of focus.
Erica did report on it that this guy has the potential to take over just like one of those 80s imports or maybe early 90s imports, but that's not what you're looking for.
It's just not the case nowadays because players are so much more bigger, more athletic and talented, and you know, you just don't want to fall into that habit of relying on the import. Plus, you're wearing the import out.
Emmett on the run is fouled by Cryam. Trying to sell that he was in the act of shooting. The referee's not buying. That's already going to be the third team foul, though, on GlobalPort. Meralco still has a clean slate.
And there's still a lot of time left in this ball game.
Hugnatan over to Cortez. The Cool Cat with some space. Lines it up. Wide left. Emmett rebounds it. Is fouled by Kramer.
Just nobody seems to get into some sort of rhythm. I mean, that's usually a bread and butter shot from like Cortez. Normally he would knock a shot like that down. But again, Andre Emmett doing or carrying a lot of the load of the scoring from Meralco.
37 points, make that 38 now para dito kay Andre Emmett. And even in the recent past, we've seen this. Guys like PJ Ramos back in the Commissioner's Cup could go off for 50, but it ends up in a loss.
It ends up in a loss because it's not balanced. It's not balanced enough. And you know, the type of talent that Meralco has, you know they're very capable. And I mean, the game's not over yet, so you have to wait and see what happens.
Just an 8-point lead now para dito sa Batang Pierre. Cryam will launch one. No. Rebound is being disputed. Taha not giving up on it, but the ball will go to the Orangemen. A chance for Meralco to inch even closer here. They were already down by as much as 17 back in the third. Macapagal with the leather, hesitates, drives closer, kicks it over. Hodge from the outside, no. And on the rebound play, a foul is spotted on Cortez. Pangatlo yan para dito kay Kulkan.
Maaalala that Stanley Pringle wasn't able to play in the last 3 games of their campaign nung last conference due to an ankle sprain sa kanan, pero wag mag-alala lahat ng mga fans niya. He will be ready to suit up and play as they face Pure Foods this season.
Oh, that's on Saturday. If we're not mistaken, that's this coming Saturday when the Pure Foods Star Hotshots make their debuts in the Governor's Cup. That is also going to be here at the Big Dome, 5 p.m.
It's going to be really interesting to see how Stanley Pringle comes into this whole play, especially with all these new additions, and I actually think it's going to work out well. You know, he's sitting there on the bench, he's seeing how well his team has been playing so far, and one of the issues, the main issues, was assists in the last conference as well. We're seeing a lot of assists now, and that's a good sign. And I'm sure, you know, when you're sitting on the bench like that, and you know you're going to play soon, I mean, seeing your teammates making that extra pass, it makes you want to do that. It's infectious. It's contagious. It makes you want to make that extra pass as well.
Especially if this one results in a win for GlobalPort, you want to keep it going when you hit the floor. Emmett over at the other end, drops it off. Hugnatan Buelo, no. Rebound batted over by O'Brien. Romeo somehow got it over to Cryam. Omar Cryam, for the benefit of the late tuners, the Asian import ng GlobalPort, playing alongside Eto si Patrick O'Brien. Meralco likewise has an Asian import but has not received clearance from the last league he played it in Iran. Kaya hindi mo na siya nakakalaro sa ball game nito. We expect him though on the floor next time around as Romeo puts up an air ball.
I definitely believe that the imports, Rainy Benny Buchoy could have been a great help in this basketball. It's just unfortunate that he wasn't able to suit up today. I would like to see how things would have gone. I mean, the game's not over yet, but you know, still interesting.
Hodge trying to go glass. Emmett trying to clean it up, but the 7-footer gets in the way. He locates Romeo at the other end. Touchdown, GlobalPort.
Just just a great pass by Patrick O'Brien, recognizing, seeing Terrence Romeo leak out that way.
Just like that, GlobalPort's lead is back up to a dozen points, 78-66. Emmet Babawe, three-pointers, no good.
Meralco just can't get anything going. There's just no rhythm. There's nothing right now.
That's why Coach Norman Black is looking to redeploy itong si Gary David. Nag-aantay na po sa ating scorer stable. Romeo mula sa labas. Diubra, Kramer with a board. GlobalPort will reset this attack.
And again, the toughness of somebody like Kramer. You know, Billy Marmarell gets slapped with the flagrant one. Well, guess what? Another physical player comes in the game, just gets an offensive rebound to give GlobalPort another possession.
Loving the depth of the GlobalPort Batang Pierre in that front line. O'Brien had to go. Shot clock was against him. He bails him out. And the frustration continues for the guys in orange. A technical foul has been slapped at Cliff Hodge. He threw the ball at the official at that last timeout.
Well, you know, at this point, you don't need anything like that. I mean, the game is not out of reach. And, you know, that's just frustration. That's all it is.
Back to a 15-point lead now para dito sa Batang Pierre. Cortez on the floor together with Ferriols, Hodge, Emmet, and David. Meralco goes back to Emmet. Foul whistled on Taha as he tried to fight through that pick. Kasama ni Taha sina O'Brien, Priam, Romeo, and Kramer. David calling out that shirt play. Let's see what it is. They go to Emmet. That's what it means. Emmet to the rack, kicks it over. Cortez for three. Couldn't send it home. Priam pitches it over to Taha. He uses the sidestep. Passes to Romeo. Ando dun si Kramer. Wala pa rin.
Almost had it there. Almost.
Would have been the knockout punch, I believe.
I believe so.
David for three. Punches it through. Atin sa atin yan ang PLDT Home Evolution turns your ordinary TV into an internet TV.
And see, sometimes that's all it takes. I mean, if Meralco can get at least two more of those or one more of those, they can get something going. They might be right back in this ballgame.
First triple of the game para kay El Granada. They're going to need a bunch more of it. Romeo looking over at Priam. He's got 6 to shoot. Romeo to Taha. Papawi ba? Di makuha. Emmet for the rebound. Down na si Gary, but Taha covers him. Emmet to Hodge, looking for shooters. Ferriols to David. Not that time around. But good job on the part of Hodge to keep it on that side of the floor. Gary to Ferriols, out to Cortez, wide open. Gary. No. Not that kind of night para dito kay El Granada.
Just can't seem to find that rhythm.
Taha though was whistled for the foul on that rebound play, and that is going to be his 6th and last foul. Rebounds going the way of Meralco. They just could not capitalize. They'll have to settle for these 2 free throws. Pintis pa rin.
They got good looks, Magoo. I thought they moved the ball around pretty well on that last sequence, but just failed to knock down that shot.
Oh, none of 2.
And that's a surprise, we just saw. But I mean, one can say that he might be a little tired at this point. And that's why, that's my whole, it reinforces my whole point, that you can't rely on the import that much. At this point, he's got almost 40 points.
Isip wasn't patient enough para ibaba pa yung bola. Emmet gets it across. Ferriols providing that pick. Emmet in the lane. Another air ball.
It's just too much. It's too much. He's the only one doing anything out there.
He's dead tired by now.
He's got to be.
Air ball Miss free throws and an air ball off the teardrop.
And a bit of frustration too.
Let's see if they have one last run left in it. And it's Romeo just put up a spectacular shot once again in traffic. O'Brien secures that board.
It's just the shots aren't falling, but I really believe that it's the length and the height of O'Brien. It's just standing there in the middle. You notice they haven't gotten anything. They haven't gotten anything underneath the basket.
Romeo off the curl, couldn't send it home. Emmet is being bothered by Jensen. So pagod na nga yung Emmet sa tingin namin ni Ali.
He's doing way too much right now.
And now you got to bring the ball up against pressure defense. That takes even more out of you. Emmet once again. will troop back to the line for 2 shots.
What impresses me the most right now about GlobalPort is their defense. The way they just have, it just seems, you know, I want to say it's a zone, but it really isn't a zone. They just have Patrick O'Brien standing there. And because he's so long, he really doesn't have to move too much. With just that presence alone, and you know, good job by the other big men because they're also making it almost impossible for penetration from the guards or the small forwards of Meralco.
This performance play is brought to you by Stanley Tools, performance in action. Talaga namang ma-action na performance sa makikita mo pag si Terence Romeo ang iyong pinanood. Under 3 minutes now remaining inside the Big Dome. Tomorrow we'll be back in action over at the MOA Arena for day 2 of your Governor's Cup. Romeo gets it over to Crayam. 3-pointer is a miss, but look who secures that
Another
rebound.
offensive rebound. Another offensive rebound. All it is, that's effort. And again, he looked like he was by himself.
Crayam making his way all the way to the cup. Hodge trying to keep in front of him, tags him from behind, and the referees will be investigating that one.
Let's take a look at this. I mean, yeah. I mean, he wasn't even going for the ball there. That's just another frustration play on Cliff Hodge.
And if that is an F1, he might just get tossed. He got a technical earlier for throwing the ball at the referee. And if they deem that is an F1, automatic, he'll be out of here.
Right now, Coach Norm, looks like Coach Norm is talking to him. I don't know what they're saying, but and then you see Sean Anthony. Looks like he's going to check in.
Cliff Hodge won't even be able to stay on that bench anymore. If it is an F1.
Man, to me, Magoo, it just doesn't make any sense. You know, I understand that you're frustrated, but at this point,
he just kissed his biceps.
Oh, he did?
Try him.
Oh, he's still doing it. He's still flexing.
I think he's showing you up, man.
Nobody can show me that. Nobody. I know I'm 40 years. I'm not going to mention my age, but I know I'm retired, but still.
There you go. Cliff Hodge will be hitting the showers earlier than everybody else. It's been a frustrating night.
It's been a frustrating night, but I mean, my whole point is this. Look, the game looks like it's out of reach now. Go back to the drawing board. You don't have to commit a flagrant like that. Go back to the drawing board, make the adjustments, figure out where you guys went wrong. Come back stronger next time.
So 2 shots plus ball possession para dito sa GlobalPort. Omar Crayam, the guy who not many knew much about. Tawag natin sa kanya, the unknown kanina.
The unknown.
He's been impressive.
He's well known now. You know, we have a nickname for him. Well, he's had this nickname, and I think from now on, as long as he's with GlobalPort, we should start referring to him as the Wizard.
Bagay naman
I mean, he displayed some fancy dribbling skills, especially off those fast breaks.
And of course, his peripherals.
Peripherals are very
zip
good.
Passes to different corners, different angles. As Romeo launches another one, and he sends the triple home. Ating baliksada ng PLDT Evolution turns your ordinary TV into an internet TV. Look at him, even listening to his Asian import, he knows that guy's a veteran.
We've seen this, and we saw that a little bit from Stanley Pringle as well, because Stanley Pringle was an import. Well, he was.
He's a veteran rookie.
He's a veteran rookie, but he was an import for other leagues.
Yep.
And again, I saw that also. I saw that in the All-Filipino Cup. This league, Stanley Pringle. It's the type of relationship that needs to be built amongst this young team. And now you have the additions of 2 veteran big guys and these 2 imports, and you see, again, they're talking right now. Omar's talking to Terence Romeo.
And that's the good thing about this young talent. We've been mentioning, and we already know talented and how terrific he is on the court, but he's just been a sponge. Even in Palawan in the All-Star weekend, he was just taking it all in. He wants to take in everybody's points of view just to learn from it.
That's the sign of a great player to come.
That's the thing. It's just a great player to come. We're still looking forward.
No, I mean,
the potential is limitless.
He's tearing it up right now, but can you imagine when he gets to about 28, 29?
It's going to be ridiculous. As Patrick O'Brien gets 2 rebounds and those 2 points in one sequence.
The length and height and the long arms of Patrick O'Brien.
So ngayon pa lang po, namumuho na ang GlobalPort sa quotient system just in case Meralco makakatabla nila pagdating sa dulo. That's an 18-point lead para dito sa Batang Piero. Of course, 2 teams get tied, it's winner over the other. But the quotient comes into play if 3 or more teams get tied up at the end of the elimination round. Napaka-importante ng mga puntos na to in the dying minutes of a game. Even in a blowout game, Priam from the outside punches and throws. Another 3-pointer natin sa atin ng PLDT Home Evolution turns your ordinary TV into an internet TV.
And I think that's the dagger right there.
Blackjack ang abante ng GlobalPort. Largest of the evening. Emmett, 41 big points across his name, but not much from the rest of these guys in orange. Anthony is fouled. We'll shoot to the line for 2 shots.
Foul number 32, Keith Jensen. That's his 5th foul. 2 shots for Sean.
Priam egging on this GlobalPort crown behind their bench. He's loving the energy and what they have shown. And as we mentioned, bukas po sa Moa Arena naman tayo. 4:15 in the afternoon, Barako Bull takes on NLEX. And then at 7 o'clock, it is going to be the San Miguel Beermen taking on Kia Carnival. Half a minute remaining inside the Big Dome for your Tuesday evening. Friday we'll be back here. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 doubleheaders. 11 of the 12 teams making their debuts this week. Rain or shine ang maiiwan sa Tuesday ulit na susunod ng kanilang laro. Romeo dancing with Cortez, forced to give it up. Naputokan na ng 24 ang Batang Pier. See if GlobalPort still plays D. Because you know Meralco's going to want to attack to cut into this deficit.
They're thinking about the quotient as well.
That's why usually you see a dribble out in sequences like that, but you see Meralco still battling here. And it is because of the quotient system. 92-73, your final score.